Hi folks, I'm David Isaac and I'm the librarian for the Linguistics department. Today we're going to talk about avoiding plagiarism and adequately citing your sources. Linking research together by citations is key to creating a conversation between scholars and answering complex research questions. That's one of the reasons why academic writing requires that you acknowledge the use of the intellectual work of others. Not doing so is considered plagiarism. The most common situations that require you to cite the work of others are a direct quote of someone else's writing and a paraphrase of the ideas of another writer. It's not necessary to give credit for commonly known facts or expressions, but if you're unsure, it's better to oversight than undercite. Plagiarism can happen accidentally, so here are a few tips. When taking notes during the research process, put the citation of the source you're using at the top of your notes. That way you know later that all the ideas came from this source and you need to cite them even if you paraphrase. Also, when taking notes, put any direct quotes in quotation marks so there's no ambiguity later that these are someone else's words. Now, sometimes you need to cite a widely held idea in linguistics, say Labov as the creator of Rapid Anonymous or Chomsky as the creator of Universal Grammar. When you're looking to trace an idea back to its source, it's helpful to think about types of sources. Here's a hierarchy of authoritative sources for the purposes of citation. Peer-reviewed primary sources are best. You can think of journal articles. Next would be non-peer-reviewed primary sources or peer-reviewed secondary sources like book chapters. Try to avoid citing encyclopedias or reference works unless they are specialized for linguistics. Here's an important tip. If you're reading a secondary source or a reference book and it cites a primary source, don't cite the primary source directly without reading it yourself first. If that's not possible, then say as reviewed by and make sure to list the secondary source in the body of your text. Finally, what to do with partial citations. Sometimes you don't have all the information you need to properly cite a source. Are you missing the volume or issue number of a journal article or the editor of a scholarly monograph? In these cases, Google Scholar is your friend. Put the information into Google Scholar and you'll most likely find a link to a web page with all the correct information. This video did not talk about how to cite using specific style guides or some of the challenges with citing images or data. If you come across those problems, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and I'll help you figure out the right citation.